Hello, my name's Christopher, and today I'm going to show you how to install Memos on Cosmos Cloud. So, a little bit about this series, I'm going over home labs, so installing things, getting things set up, everything like that. So if you're interested in that, subscribe, comment, like, and support the channel, and let's get started. So I'm going to start on Big Bear Video Assets. There will be a link down in the YouTube description to get to it. So I'm going to go to how to install Memos on Cosmos Cloud right here. And then I'm going to go into Docker Compose. And then I'm going to explain it. So version 3 of Docker Compose is being used. I'm going to set some services. And then the first service underneath the service is called Memos. And then I'm going to get an image off Docker Hub. And you know that because there's nothing before this. So it's coming straight off Docker Hub by default. And then I'm going to get the latest tag. And then the container name is going to be Memos. I'm going to set a volume, so data, app data, memos, and then that's on the host side. You can change this. And on the container side is var opt memos. You cannot change the container side. I'm going to set a port, so 5230 is on the host side and 5230 is in the container side. So the way the proxy works, this won't actually be used. This will be used because Cosmos Cloud uses a proxy to get inside of the container. So, and when you isolate the container, the host port's not used. So I'm going to go over here to copy raw file, and then I'm going to go to my Cosmos Cloud and get this installed. So we're going to start on the Cosmos Cloud dashboard, and I'm going to go to Serve Apps right here, and then Import Compose File. And then I'm going to paste what I copied over in Big Bear Video Assets. And then I'm going to say Next, Create. It's going to show a JSON object here of what it's going to create. So I'm going to say Create. And then it created the service, done everything for you. It showed the output and said service created. So I'm going to say Close. And then it's installed now. So now we need to create a URL, and the URLs are the proxy, because it's got to have the URL set up to proxy inside the container. So I'm going to turn on isolate network too. And then I'm going to go into URLs, and it fills you in a little bit about it, like expose memos to the internet, the container name, the container port 5230. And then HTTP, and then the use host. This is what we'll be going to get to Memos. So it's on port 7200. And then you can turn on authentication, and Smart Shield protection is on. So you can confirm and refresh the page. And now we have a URL to get to this actual container. So now we're going to go over the container options. So you can check for updates here. You can pause. This is for the current tag, and stop, restart, recreate, kill the container. So, and you can go into details right here. You can see more info. The isolate container, auto update container. The same options here. Check if it's running here. You can add another URL for the proxy. You can go in the logs and see more info, and you can check for errors only right here, which is really handy. And then you can have a terminal, and then Docker. You can set a restart policy, so you can say restart unless stopped here. You can turn on interactive mode. You can change the environment variables, or add one or delete one. You can change the labels on the container, delete one or add one, and then update container. You can see the network, so it's a bridge, and then there's no host port because this is using the proxy to proxy into 5230 right here. And then you can see all the active networks or non-active. You can go ahead and see the bind that we created. So data, app data, memos, and then the container right here. You can set a new mount point. You can unmount. You can update volumes. So that's the container options. So we're going to go over URLs now. I'm going to go to URLs right here, and then you can delete the URL. You can make the URL priority or not, and you can go into the URL. You can see info. You can delete it from here. You can see the description, the URL that is created that actually proxies into the container, and it's on 7200. The target is serve app, and then it's targeting the memos, and then 5230 inside of the container. And you can see Smart Shield is enabled, authentication is disabled, throttling is enabled, and timeout is enabled. And then you can go over to setup. You can change info on the actual URL right here, and then press save. And then you can go over to security tab and enable authentication, change what the headers does, and then you can edit the Smart Shield, you can edit the limits, and then you can block common bots recommended to turn that on, and then block request without a referee header. And then you can press save button when you edit any of this. So that's about the URL. So now we're actually going to go in the UI now. So you can go to home, and then you can go from here. You can also go into serve apps. You can click here for the URL. You can also go into this, and you can go right here and click it. So now we're in the UI. So you can go sign in, and the first sign in is registering as a site host. So I'm going to just put a username and password in. So sign up. You do need to remember that username and password to sign in again. So now once you're in the UI, you can go up here and start adding your thoughts or notes. So you can go over here, say testing and working. Then you can add tags. So you can create a tag over here called testing, working, and dev. And then production. And then you can add them all here. So you can say testing, working, and then save. You can also attach resources. So you can attach a local file on your computer. You can attach a external link. And you can put check marks in. And then you can put code snippets in. So you can also put it to private, visible to members, public to everyone. You can also go over here and search. So I'm going to search for testing. And there you go. Bring them all up. And you can see a calendar of when you do memos. You can see the daily review of when you do memos. And then you can see resources when you put one in the thought section. And then you can explore. You can see the archived. So if you go over here and you archive it, now you can go over to archived and you can see them archived. You can restore it back to active instead of being in an archive status. You can delete the memo. You can also go over here and you can pin the memo, and you can edit it. You can mark it. So you can add another thought underneath this one. Then there you go. You can delete it, like I said, and then confirm. And so here's the settings. So you can change your username, your nickname, your email address, your avatar right here. You can also change your password. You can create a new token for 8 hours, 1 month, never, the expiration. And then you just say a description and then create. And then now you have another token. The tokens are used for the API. So you can change the language, the theme, the default memo visibility, and then the daily review time offset, and then the enable double click to edit. You can also put a Telegram user ID in. You can see the members, the member list right here. You can create a new member right here. Here's the system info. So server name, database file size, and you can vacuum it, edit it. You can allow user sign up. You can turn that on or off, and disable password login, disable public memos, a display with updated time, the maximum upload size, so you can change it here. This is in megabytes. And then auto backup intervals. And then you can set a Telegram bot token, additional styles, and additional script, so CSS and JavaScript. You can change the storage. And now you can change it to database or local. You can also go in here and add an S3 bucket. You can set up single sign-on. So it's got a template for GitHub, GitLab, Google, and custom. So that's about Memos and how the UI works a little bit. So I just walked you through step by step on how to get Memos installed on Cosmos Cloud. This makes it to where you can organize your thoughts. So if you like this tutorial, subscribe, comment, like, and support the channel. And if you have any video suggestions or you need support, you can go to the Big Bear community and join our Discord. There's a link in the YouTube description. So stay tuned for more.